Hey guys, it's Sega Camp, and just like the title says, I finally did get a 3DS. To be honest though, I was actually planning to wait till the end of the week, but due to impatientness, it just got the best of me. It was supposed to be more of an unboxing video too, but I got too carried away. I'm thinking about opening this up, so whatever. Yeah. So anyway, though, I just hope everyone else doesn't get upset what decision I did. I guess you already saw, but I'll show you anyway. I finally got Aqua Blue. Yeah, the whole gimmick now is finally coming to an end. Because, like I said, my Game Boy Advance and my DSi were both in black, so it's actually kind of good to actually get a different colored console for once. I do kind of like blue. It's even the same as my pen. I'm not making this up. It actually is. But I thought as well I would share some really neat, interesting stuff. One thing is for sure, I did argue why the 3DS had 3 to 5 hours of battery life, but I finally think I know a solution now why. Because we rewind back to the Game Boy Advance, so the main reason why it only has 13 hours is just because it's just a game console. Like, it doesn't have any built-in features or anything. All it is just a handheld console with the game, and that's all you have. So once you start it up, all you get is just the Nintendo Game Boy logo, and that's it. And then it just goes to your game, whatever you're playing. But I see once the DSi got made, they finally put some features in it, just like the same as the DS. The first thing that was a little different from the DS and DSi was the compatibility with the Game Boy games, with the Game Boy Advance games, I should say, and the camera. DSi only had the cameras, like the camera that you see right here and the one on inside the DSi. And the DS did not have that, but the DS instead had the compatibility of playing Game Boy Advance games that you see. My DSi doesn't have that. Anyway, it would be around the bottom part of the DS. But yeah, you probably tell right by that. But I know it did have a download. I know both the DSi and DS had download play, and it also had PictoChat. And I think besides all that, I think that's all what it had. But as well, also had a library of DS games. Like, you can't go wrong without a library of games for that console, right? But what I find really neat though is now they actually put two power switches here. There's one here on the side for just like a normal DS, and as well that they still have one for they still have the power button for the DSi. So if you got adapted to playing the DSi, you can just use this, and if you were adapted more to a normal DS, you can just use that. It's kind of hard to see though on my camera. Oh well. And I'm very sorry I had to turn the 3D off on this thing. Then again, I guess the switch on the side is just to control the wireless internet. I don't know. Oh well. The 3D actually does work, but I tried using it on my camera. Like, this is what the 3D looks like anyway. Yeah, I know. Some 3D, but I'll show you though, it's no gimmick. It actually works. Like when I look at it through my own eyes, I'm like, wow, that is 3D. So yeah, the 3D is no gimmick. The 3D actually works. And as you can probably tell right by the top screen is actually 10% bigger than the bottom one. So that's really cool. I was playing Castlevania on this a little earlier. And look at this. The stylus, right? Don't worry, it's no joke. Don't worry, this is not all what you have, though. Just watch very closely. I got magic fingers. Whoop. Now, isn't that kind of cool? I like that extended stylus. That's really cool. I have to argue. I have to show you my me very quickly, though. Because I finally did take a picture of my own me, and God, do I look stupid. Yeah, that's me. That's probably taking a photo of me on my 3DS. That doesn't even look like me, for Christ's sakes. If you seen me in We Talk, you would know. Okay, start facing towards the camera. Yeah, that doesn't even look like me. Like, if you seen what my me looked like in We Talk, well, it doesn't even, like, my me on my Wii doesn't even look anything like me either in real life, but it's better than nothing anyway, so. One thing I really have to complain is I can't get rid of the favorite. Like, I'll show you. There's the favorite. It's kind of hard to see. I click on it, and then what does it say? You cannot remove your personal me from your favorites. What the fuck? Why not? Is it just because I only have one me right now, and I have to have a limit to only one me being a favorite? I have no idea. I do have sharing on, so if I do end up having my 3DS in sleep mode, and I'm like going down the streets in whatever town where I live right now, I'm not gonna start throwing out my actual place where I live. Then you might be glad to actually get my own Wii, my own little me. Yay! I'm gonna be kidding myself. All I have is just fans in Europe. Like, really, you think I'm ever gonna go travel over to Europe and then start walking down the streets in the UK? I don't know. It may happen, though. It may happen. And then when I hit the home button, look at that. It just shows right up there. But I finally found out a way how to close it now. It's actually right on the touch screen down here. I just click. If I can get my stylus to show. And as you see, it's finally gone. I'm actually surprised. There's actually an R Games mode on here. In case you don't know what that is, it's actually the same like the Wii Game Shop on the Wii. So that means you can actually get Game Boy and Game Boy Color games as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah. That actually is kind of cool. But if I have to go, I'm gonna put out any game that they should make for the 3DS. Pokemon Pinball, definitely. So far, I heard the only one that they did put on here was the 1989 Game Boy remake, the 1989 Game Boy version of Super Mario Land. That's kind of cool because I had that on my Game Boy emulator on my computer, so I do have the game. But it would be kind of cool to see one for Pokemon Pinball at least as well. Speaking of Pokemon for a minute, I finally got my Pokemon Rumble intro made, and it looks awesome. But God, was it a huge pain in the ass. Like, I had a hard time trying to find the clips I wanted just for the intro. Just the game clips, though. Like, I already have the clips to me with the Wii Remote Nunchuck Classic controller and the one with the GameCube controller where I go at the end and go like... But just getting the clips but it always has to be... Every time when I come up with a new intro, I always have to think what game clips I want to have for every intro. Except for Kirby 64, I never did had game clips. I just had them all across. I just had them zoom right through at the same time, and then all I had was just one clip of Kirby at the end. So Kirby 64 was a little different. And what am I saying? This was last year. This was January of last year. So I don't know. Okay, let's turn this thing off. Anyway, though, what I find, and you know what's really weird? The 3DS plug is actually the same like the DSi. Yeah, this is a one to my DSi. I don't have the 3DS one. It's the exact same thing. You just plug it in here. And give me a minute. I need to make sure I have this on right. And there you go. It's charging. But why am I actually showing you this? Like you can still plug it into like a normal charging plug. Oh, and it already is finished charging. But as well though, why do I need that? Like, here's the game stand. I know this is the thing that you put the 3DS on. And as you see in the back, it has the exact same kind of plug. It's kind of hard to see. It's like right there. And then once you plug that into there, and then put your 3DS on it. Give me a minute. I just need to find the spots, and then it'll click in. Oh, there you go. And there you go. It's charging. We'll finish charging again. I don't know. But you can see that it's all the same thing. Anyway, sadly, I had to go out and buy myself I finally did get myself a 3DS game as well. Yep, Super Street Fighter 4. I haven't unboxed this game yet because I still have yet to play it. That's kind of cool. It has Ryu right on the front. And I had to make a second video just because my mom had to go rudely interrupt. But I guess very quickly, I'll show you the comparison to the cameras on the DS and the to the 3DS and the DSi. Now, what's really weird though is they both have built-in cameras for the 3DS and the DSi. But the only thing that's different about the DSi is the camera is right here, and you only have one out here, which means you can both take a photo right here in front of your face, or you could just shoot one outward to, like, if I had to take a photo right now, I would just be shooting my computer and what I'm doing on the internet, and probably the webcam box I'm recording it on too. But as you see for the 3DS, the camera now is actually, instead of being down here, it's actually up here. It's kind of hard to see. It's that little dot in the top center part. That's the camera. And as you see in the front, there's like these two little dots right here are actually the cameras that shoot outward for 3D shooting. So that's actually kind of cool. So now you can actually take a 3D shot outward, which is really cool. But yeah. And don't you find that kind of cool now that there's actually a little disc thing? I find that cool because I see him later. We're gonna be getting the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I can already see him move, and I can already see him that you have to be moving Link around with this little doohickey thing. Anyway, it's better than just using the D-pad. The D-pad would be kind of stupid and tedious. Not to be kind of rude, I am being very perfectly honest, but the D-pad would be kind of stupid moving Link. Like, if you ended up using the D-pad, then you're a complete idiot. But yeah, like I said before, I finally got Super Street Fighter 4. Oh yeah. I haven't unboxed it yet. I might already mention this at the end of the first video, right before I ended up making this video. Kind of ridiculous, I know. Anyway, I think I wasted enough time making this whole huzzah, so I'll end this video off here for now. Chowses.